We introduce a haptic augmentation technique for modulating the feel of a real physical button by providing additional vibrotactile feedback. When the user presses the button, an actuator generates a vibration signal, and it is added to the original force response of the button and presented to the user. This simple technology can give a variety of distinct and programmable feels to one physical button. The contributions of this work are with the structured and detailed analysis results on the perceptual attributes of vibration-augmented physical buttons.